yo, y'all already know what time it is, man. Welcome to the Black Cat Panther podcast. Your boy Dub Q in the building. What's going on with y'all fellas, man? How y'all living tonight?
Hey man, I'm living like
Man,
I'm always living. I'm great. I'm great.
no doubt, no doubt. Doing it like we do.
It's time for another therapy session, just in case you're wondering. So y'all come on in, do us the illustrious favor, like, comment, subscribe. Come on in the building, man. Y'all already know what time it is. We're gonna talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
Unchecked fandom, and how particularly it's gotten out of hand amongst the Carolina Panther land. Let's be for real. Let's be particular. There's been a lot of people that's taken being a fan out of hand. The word fanatic has gotten so erratic. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'm rhyming right now. I'm on fire right now. But just let
Yeah,
me
you,
have this one.
you seem to be trying to do a little something there, man.
Fanatic. The definition from good old Webster: a person filled with excessive and single-minded zeal, especially for an extreme religious or political cause. The Panthers is the cause in which these guys are being fanatics for, and the zeal is what we have to take our time and mind how high and low it gets. So,
Mm-hmm.
as people see the brand, believe the brand, maintain the brand, buy into the brand, you look and you see a lot of people come out here and be extremists. They
Mm-hmm.
see, they pick a side, they get a side of the fence that they want to be on, and they either far left or they far right. But what do you say to the people that's in the middle? Like, most people call it being fair, being just. I always say, hey, I look at this team from an unbiased. Yes, I said it to anybody who watching right now, unbiased. You may not like me saying that, but me not jumping on the fence and jumping along with whatever the masses is saying is me being unbiased, whether you like it or not. There's a lot of people around here receiving so much praise for doing absolutely nothing. Like I look at the Carolina Panther land now, we have a coach right now that's been put on a pedestal because he's fixed Geno, because he's fixed Baker Mayfield, because he's allegedly fixed Russell Wilson. I saw your face twist, Goat. What you got to say about that?
You said the word right, allegedly. And then you done say put on a pedestal. Say it right. They crowning these motherfuckers out here. Okay? They're crowning them.
They crowning the
Stop
goat.
the madness. They crowning him. Crowning him. We're going to go out there and we're going to say, because you put on the fanatics, you put on the black and blue, the MDJ, you know, you put
Uh-huh.
on the
Uh-huh.
black and blue MDJ,
You keep saying my name.
you
Are you
are
talking to me, sir?
automatic Pro Bowler. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm letting you
Oh no,
know.
I
In
understand. I
case you didn't know,
understand.
you know, you are automatic Pro Bowler. You are automatically Hall of Famer. You understand? You ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing yet. Um,
Nick thing.
in my time, you had to earn something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Understand? 2 and 15, you ain't earned nothing. You ain't earned nothing. I haven't seen nothing earned. A first time head coach, you ain't earned nothing. A 2
You
and
know, I
15 quarterback, you ain't earned nothing.
man, I love the team just like everybody else do. I deem myself to be in Pantherland a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure people have seen me. I'm in Pantherland. Now, sometimes Pantherland seems to cross with Fantasyland. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
In
okay.
Fantasyland is fun. It is very fun.
Fantasy
I
Island,
enjoy it.
that too.
Yeah, I
The
enjoy that.
plane.
I like
Okay,
to visit there. But you got to remember, you got to come back home at some point, man.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
go on
Come on back.
vacation, vacation ends and then you come back home, man.
Come on back.
So when we home, you get to looking through, you know, your track record. 2-15, 7-10, 5-12, 5-12, 5. 12, I believe. You know, I'm sure I'm hitting the board somewhere as far as what the Pantherland has
Yeah,
looked like. You know,
yeah. I'm gonna
so,
show you something real quick because I think it's imperative to show people this right here. And
Yeah.
number one, if you just go on the Panthers Instagram account, and that's where I have been doing. I've been here. 1 week ago, we dropped the schedule for the Carolina Panthers, and you see people, a 2-15 team that we were last year, are saying right now, with a tougher schedule we have, they say if I'm being honest, we can go probably 9-8. The worst is 6-11.
Lord
The
have mercy.
absolute worst. Now, of course, this person, a bevy of other people, they catch a flack for saying it. Somebody told them, hey, let's be realistic here. The ceiling is reasonable. The floor is so much lower. I mean, you telling me the worst we can do is 6 games when we just came off of a 2-win season? The delusion of the Panther fans are so far left. It's like they root for this logo. They root for what you see on top of this helmet, what you see on top of this hat. They love it so much till it
Yeah.
blinds them.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing, man. All I'm saying is just like how last year when we came in and they were putting out the rumors of Bryce Young was catching the playbook. That was one of the
mhm.
number one things that Frank went up to the podium last year. If anybody can remember, just a couple of months ago, Frank goes up to the podium during training camp. He says, Bryce Young grasped the playbook. Bryce Young seems so smart. He seems like a second year starter. He's just that smart. And as we got the preseason, I did not see any of that smart he was talking about. It just wasn't there for me.
Preseason on throughout the season. Yep.
You got that.
But but
And,
but but wasn't that's why he was sold to us to be smart anyway, right? We didn't you're not looking at him for his physicality. You know what I'm saying? He's not 6'5", 200 something gonna bow people over the middle or you know what I'm saying? Run down the soon as the line splits and he run down the middle and he's jacking over linebackers, right? We didn't draft him for that, did we? We drafted him for his, he was labeled the brain.
yeah,
The brain, point
yeah.
guard.
Okay.
I think they said point guard esque.
Point guard,
Steph
point guard.
Curry.
Yeah, yeah,
Point
yeah,
guard,
yeah,
point
yeah,
guard.
yeah,
Steph
yeah.
Curry. Transcending. Mini Mahomes. A lot of nicknames they
A
gave
mini
him.
who?
Mini Mahomes. You ain't never heard them call Bryce Mini Mahomes
I
before
heard them say
before we got
Patrick
him?
Mahomes esque, but I ain't never heard the mini Mahomes.
Mini
Lord.
Mahomes was before we got him. I don't think nobody call him that right now. But
Hmm.
it's just like I said, man. I go visit Fantasyland sometimes, so I'm tapped in.
Yeah,
My ears to the Panther streets, man. My ears to the Panther streets.
like,
Um,
yeah.
you know,
At one point they said he was rewriting the playbook, rewriting the playbook. So you got to be a
Mm-hmm.
smart mama to rewrite the playbook. You know, so I don't
mm-hmm.
know.
What go? Once again, I gave you the definition of a fanatic. Maybe I need to share it on the screen. That way people can understand. Because a fanatic, once again, and I don't want to be rude, a fanatic, a person filled with excessive. Now I'm zooming in on that. Excessive, single-minded zeal. This is what we're dealing with in Pantherland. People whose minds are just hell bent on one thing. And this is what we're dealing with Bryce Young. Like people told us in the video that we did yesterday, shout out to everybody who watched the video, um,
Mm-hmm.
that the number one thing that we should be is, have our football card taken, a lot of us, because they felt like
Yeah.
anybody that could watch Bryce Young go through what he went through last year should automatically understand that he didn't have anything to work with. Everybody else was trash on the team. That's what
Everybody
they
else is a
told us.
bum. Everybody else is a bum.
Hmm.
I don't know how they became professional football players. They're
Hmm.
bums.
I
Okay.
mean, it's almost like the fan base. We picking sides. You know what I'm saying? You got some people who I would say see the team for what it is. They in the middle. Some people think we're terrible. You know, them the far lefters. Then you got the far
Yeah.
righters who believe, 10, 11 wins, win the division. You know, how we come to winning the division from being last in the division is amazing. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody that it can't be done because anything is possible. And it is the NFL. This has happened several times. But you gotta see if there's something conducive to that actually happening. You did get a new coach, right? So you don't have a lot of, it's a new scheme. When you get a new scheme every year, one thing you're not gonna have is consistency. Consistency, bows towards winning. So is it possible? Yes. Some people are betting the house on it, and it's not in your favor. So be
And that
careful.
usually
Be
happens,
careful
man.
with
Like I
that.
said, it's a lot of situations that happen. Like it's a looser schedule. The ball has to bounce right for you. Sometimes you face teams at certain parts of the year when they're not getting it together. I mean, things like that, like you said, are conducive to you going from worst to first. You know,
Yeah,
it has happened, but it doesn't happen often than not. It does not. How
yeah.
about we put it like that? Can y'all understand it that way? So I'm not gonna say the Carolina Panthers could go out there this year and be 17-0. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying anything can happen. The stars could line up. Haley's comet could come through this year. You know what I'm saying? And drop whatever meteorites fall into diamonds in the atmosphere. I don't know, bro. Anything can happen. So you
Hmm.
can ride with that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. We see all the comments that everybody puts on the videos, and I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna go through this and tell me how y'all feel about this right here.
What do we have there, man? Somebody had a lot to say
It's
there.
an essay.
I can't
It's a whole goddamn
see.
essay. First of all, once again, we want all of you guys to continue leaving comments in the chat because your boy Dub Q is going to go through the comments and I'm going to make sure I highlight them on the shows because this is us saying we hear you. This is
Oh
us
yeah,
saying we acknowledge what you're saying as a fan. So,
Yeah.
number one, first and
I
foremost,
love it. I love it. I love getting the feedback.
shout out to Liquid Media Works TV. And he
shout out to
said,
him.
shout out to him. He said,
Yeah,
there's
liquid.
one thing
Good on you.
to say that counters everything y'all said about Bryce. And he said, explain Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen came here because of Wright. He chose to stay because of Bryce. Now, I'm going to pause after that first sentence. Now, is that a fact or is that an opinion right there of why he chose to stay?
That's an out and out lie. That's a lie. Liquid, you a liar. Okay? No, he didn't. You can go back. And it's a fact. That man asked to get out of here for a trade. He had no trade value. They couldn't get nothing for him, Liquid. So that is a lie. Next.
Let me touch on that.
Yeah.
As far as comparing Adam Thielen's season to the year before, I mean, he was heavily targeted, right? But you also have to
Yeah.
look as far as what we bought in. We drafted a wide receiver. We traded for a wide receiver. We re-signed a few guys that we have here. So, with all that being said, I mean, Adam Thielen did what he was supposed to do, but there's no proof to say that he stayed because of Bryce Young. There's nothing.
Exactly.
I don't see anything leaning towards that. When he came here, he said he came here to win because he liked Frank Wright's plan. So him saying he came here because of Frank Wright, I think there is some truth to that. But he felt like Frank Wright had a plan. But after a 2-15 season and you hire a whole nother coaching staff,
Mm-hmm.
You clearly seen
you
that the
know,
plan, the
Well,
plan
well,
that went to
it,
yeah, the plan is balled up and in the trash can. We on the plan
yeah,
B.
the plan is
we
You know
done.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we
we
on plan.
have
We
we
might be
have
on
him
C.
we
Right.
have him on record and GOAT the MDJ, y'all both were here for it. He said that's not the plan. When Frank got fired, he said this was not the plan that was presented to me. They told me in 3 years we would have been competing for a Super Bowl. That's what
Yes,
I was
sir.
sold on. That's what I was told when I came here. So he was already went to management and asked to get up out of here. But you go back to week 12, week 13, and go back and look at Adam Thielen. The videos are right there. He was very
Yeah.
upset. He wanted to get up out of
Yeah.
here. It was past the deadline, and they had to sit down and talk to him and get him back on the same page.
Get
Number
him
one.
back in here. Cause he had done went on a little campaign and he was going on shows saying he was this and this and that. And then they started asking him on Good Morning, right on Good Morning Football, and he laughed it
Mhm.
off. It was so vocal.
So just to look at some of the stuff that the Panther fans say, and they think that, like I said, we don't support anything that we say with documents or videos or going down the timeline of what's going on. Bro, like I said, we just addressed the first sentence. The next one says if you want to go get more in depth, Frank wasn't ready for this job, aka that's your opinion. Then he goes on to say way too much pressure. Once again, that's your
Whoa.
opinion. He had his eyes, he had the eyes of his old coach and more tenured coaches on every move. He was also
You talking
coming to a
about
team
Frank,
that
right?
didn't care or really know much about his history. He was unsure and uncomfortable day one. Do you not remember his awkward locker room celebration? The team didn't respond to him, period. Well, first of all, and this is how I'm gonna look at this right here. Frank Wright came in, had his mind set up for a particular type of quarterback, had his mind set up to build this roster a particular type of way for who he saw fit to be the steerer of the ship, the captain of his ship. And our owner, and it's been documented, our owner came out and said, hey, I want Bryce Young. Frank Wright was more leaning heavily upon CJ Stroud. It's not me. That's where it's been documented. Even the wives of the owner, the wife's owner's wife has come out and said this. She wanted CJ Stroud. She told him to go with CJ Stroud. But against his better judgment, he said Bryce Young was his guy. And that veto power that he got up there to the podium and lied about, yeah, that went out the window. How y'all boys feeling?
Let me get this. Let me get it go because I'm itching. I'm burning on this, man. As
Yes,
far as
sir.
Frank
Go
Wright,
ahead, go
man,
ahead,
I
go
say
ahead.
this all the time. Frank Wright should have never even been hired for the fucking Carolina Panthers. Frank Wright got fired from a coach team and got replaced by a former player of the team who never coached football on any level. Okay, that's what he did at his last job. Now him getting this job here, David Tepper wanted Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson told him no. D'Amico Ryans was a candidate. D'Amico Ryans went to the Houston Texans and was successful. You know what I'm saying? So Frank Wright has no legs to stand on as far as what he did here. Frank Wright came here, had an opportunity that he shouldn't even have had, which he got. That was what his second, third chance. And he had an opportunity. He had the number one pick in the NFL draft. Whether he signed on it, didn't sign on it, speculation say he didn't want Bryce Young. Well, guess what? When he got on that podium, all he told me was, yeah, I'm confident in Bryce Young. I think he got it. He could have started Andy Dalton. He didn't start Andy Dalton. He started Bryce Young. So Frank Wright, as far as coaching the Carolina Panthers, had every opportunity to do what he wanted to do if he chose to. As far as people saying Tepper had his hands in it and was controlling everything, well, that's what comes in when you have a backbone in your body. If you ain't got no backbone and you bend, when the man say bend, well, when he tell you to bend over, guess what's gonna happen to you?
Ooh.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Go, you got it,
Yes,
you got
sir.
it.
Go ahead, go.
Well, I'm alluding to him saying Frank was over his head. Frank played in the NFL 14 years, and then he coached another 17. Frank has over 31 years of experience in the NFL. So, another lie, because I think somebody that has done anything for over hell, it only takes 25 years or so to retire from something. 31
Mm-hmm.
years and something. Damn, you have a mastery what they usually say, you have a mastery of that subject or that whatever you're doing. So to say Frank was over his head, nah, I don't think so. Like you said, Frank didn't have a. Now I blame Frank for not having a backbone, like MDJ said, because Frank did not get his quarterback, and we know this. We say it all the time. If you are a head coach coming into a new organization, the first thing you do, if you have a chance to, is get your quarterback. It is documented. It is 100% in the NFL. If you do not come in and get your quarterback or that guy that you tether yourself to as your quarterback, 9 times out of 10 those guys fail. That's all I got to say about Frank. And talking about he didn't have Frank had 31 years of experience in the NFL. Come on, bro,
Hmm.
stop that.
Well, and like I said, fans see it from a perspective that they want to see it. Once again, you're talking about fanatics, and I'm gonna read that definition off to you one more again. A person filled with excessive and single-minded zeal. So you see things from a different perception because in your mind frame, this is how it was. This is how you saw it. This is what laid out to you. But remember, there's a difference in perception and reality. Perception is what it looked like. Reality is what it actually was. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just being real with you guys. I sit here and I have to listen to some of these comments, and I listen to some of these guys comment at the bottom of these shows, and they think, hey, I want A, B, Y, and Z. Bryce Young deserves this. Bryce Young was that. Like, if you read the rest of this comment, and like I said, shout out to my man, what's your name again? Liquid Media Works
Liquid
TV.
something. Yeah, liquid. Yeah.
I appreciate you. My man say DJ Chalk hasn't played in no more than 15 games since 2019. Well, first of all, you knew that when you brought him in here for the $5 million, that you basically gave him incentives to stay healthy for the whole season. You knew that when you brought him in through the
Hmm.
door. Now,
That's why he was on a 1 year deal.
that's why he was here.
True.
Everybody knew this guy was here only for as a rental. Nobody expected him to be here past a year. Did you expect that? Any of y'all?
Nah, I mean they wanted to
Nope.
see what he was gonna do. They want to see, was he gonna stay healthy? Was he gonna produce? And they got a chance to see.
So then he goes on to say all the tight ends were terrible. Baker left had a great year. Moore left had a great year. CMC left had a great year. Let me tell you something. CMC was great here on the Panthers. He was a top 5 running back when he was here. You don't get 1,300 yards and another 1,000 yards and not be already great. So DJ Moore was already getting 1,000 yards here. That final year that he was here,
Thousand,
because we
thousand,
had the
thousand, every year, thousand,
carousel,
thousand.
because we had the carousel at quarterback, and we went through PJ Walker, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, all that in 1 year. His numbers dwindled a little bit. So coming into the next season, he got 900 yards. But that doesn't diminish who he was as a wide receiver. But he goes to the Bears. And I want y'all to hear me and hear me clearly. He goes to the Bears to an inferior quarterback in Justin Fields. Everybody sat here and tell me that they would take Bryce Young over Justin Fields any day of the week. They tell me this all the time. And this guy has 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, a career year for him. Now, I hate to tell you guys, but if a guy leaves from a situation from a number 1 overall pick, which they didn't get a chance to play with each other, but leaves from a situation where, hey, we now using you as leverage, and he goes out with a quarterback that's not as good, but get better numbers, it's not helping your guy out at all. It's not. I hate to tell you that.
As far as like the comments on the tight ends were terrible. Well, I mean, I can't argue that too tough, but that is a dependent position. That
Yeah.
depends on quarterback play as well. He said Baker left and had a great year. Well, that wasn't Baker's first great year, believe it or not. Baker might have came here and stunk it up, but that was a time where he had Cleveland in the playoffs when them motherfuckers ain't been shit for a long time. DJ Moore had a great year. He always had great years when he was here. CMC left and had a great year. Factual, CMC is probably the best running back in the league, but when we traded CMC, we went on to go 7-10 after only winning one game prior to having him. So all those are facts. And yeah, a lot might have been asked of Bryce, but don't forget, Bryce Young, once again, he came to a team that was 7-10 that was playing on the last week of the season to win the division against the Bucks. So, say what you want as far as he came to the worst situation before the season, nobody was saying that. Pretty much most of the fan base was saying he was coming to the better situation. We basically said whoever go to Houston is cooked.
Yeah.
So,
because Houston was in such a bad. Lovie Smith won 2 games over there, and they fired him on the spot for even trying to win. Because before that, they had a person in management making racial slurs, saying different stuff about black people, which I don't think nobody saw that place as an attractive destination after going through 3 coaches back to back. Don't that sound a little familiar? But I'm gonna tell you like this.
What is it now? Is it an attractive destination now?
It's attractive now. It's very attractive.
As hell. It's a Super Bowl contender.
You had to get the right guy in the building and the right quarterback.
It's the what Goat said, man. Look, listen, they had a rookie head coach. We had a guy with, like Goat said, 31 years of experience versus a rookie first-time head coach. So I mean, he said explain that. I think that explains that, and everything that he said as far as that, he factually said everything that was true. Where he starts to go down astray is when he says too much was asked of Bryce. Actually, it's coming in at 7-10. We only asked him to maybe win one more game, and we in the mix. We win one more game after that 7-10 season. We in the mix for the division. The Bucks and the Saints tied at 9-8. One more win would have had us 8-9, right there in the last week of the season, playing for the spot.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to trend upward.
The division has been settled by one game for the last 3 years. So, that's all we were asking. That's it.
Nobody is being a hater to Bryce. Like I said, like you just said, 7-10 we went the year before. When you get the number 1 overall pick, you're signifying that, hey, we just need this piece to uplift the rest of us to get us in contention where we can get to 9 games maybe even potentially 10 to compete for the division. But once again, these fellas just said it. 8 games won the division the year before, that same year.
You want to be controversial. J.C. Horn plays in that game and we win against the Bucks. Bro, Bryce is not even here. Truthfully, honestly speaking,
here.
Steve Wilkes is
not
the
even
GOAT.
here.
Bryce is not even here. One game.
He should have been anyway. He should have been here anyway. But, like I said, it played out how it played out. But like you said, one game, one J.C. Horn injury.
One game.
Injury away from winning that division. Get proud.
What? Man.
So, my man says, the team has been bad and too much was asked of Bryce. I'm sorry, but I'm not too familiar. What are the expectations of a number 1 overall draft pick, MDJ?
For me?
Just in general.
Man, listen, man. If you draft a quarterback number 1, he should elevate your team. If nothing else, he should be able to steer the ship and guide it in his early years. You shouldn't go from 7-10 to 2-15. I will always say that.
Go. I have to echo MDJ's settle exactly because I'm looking at a number 1 overall to get me those like you said, a 7-10 team. I'm looking for number 1 overall to get me them 3 games. If we didn't finish 7 or we finished 8 and we still in the mix for that playoff spot or whatever, not that big enough fall off. Not the fall off that we had. I was not. I
Yeah.
didn't see that at all. And the quarterback position, and every time y'all can make excuses for the quarterback as much as you want, but if it was in reverse, you be hey, he'd get all the accolades. So
Yeah,
if you can
exactly.
take him, you if you can take him, you got to take the good with the bad, homeboy.
And this is where we always say the number one thing we praise on this channel, and that's here when you on Black Hat. You live and you die by quarterback play in this league. In this NFL's league, today's NFL, you live and you die by quarterback play. If y'all don't
Yes,
gain
sir.
nothing else from this channel, you're going to understand that no matter who you got behind center, he touches the ball over how many percentage of the time go?
100.
Unless you
So,
punting
That's
or
that
kicking a field goal, and
downstairs
he
hit.
might touch it when you kick a field
Downstairs
goal.
hit. He
okay,
touching it. Downstairs
okay,
hit. He
okay. So maybe I'm mistaken, but maybe he don't have his hands on the ball anymore and directly affecting every snap. Maybe that changed in the last day or two. Maybe that changed. But people sit here and they want to live on cloud nine and they say too much was asked of Bryce. My brother, you're a number one overall pick.
not
I
enough.
haven't asked enough of you coming in because you're supposed to be competent enough to be able to run an offense. This is what you were promised for me to do. You were supposed to be competent to come in. They said that you were the quickest processor. You was able to come down here, read defenses. You were like a 2-year starter. I'm hearing this, that, and this. That tells me the offense should flow smoothly with you behind center. But instead, we trying to show you where to line up under center. Where they do that at?
Mm.
Okay, okay. So all I'm saying is fanatics see things from one set. Let me make sure I give you that one more time. Fanatics are excessive and single-minded with the zeal. They only see things one way. Fanatics. They're not open. They are not just. There is no way you can compromise with a fanatic. They only see things from a position of I need this, I need that. And it correlates with what you're seeing. Now, take a look at this right here. The man said, even with all the negatives, a poorly coached, undersized quarterback gave only true weapons the most receptions and yards since 2018. Adam Thielen was your number one target. And guess what? You had Mango. Terrence Marshall Jr. was a healthy scratch. This past season, they had Demare Bird. They had a bevy of guys that they did not utilize in this offense. Amir Smith Marset, LaVisca Chenault was your gadget guy. They did not utilize any of these guys after giving away your number one target in DJ Moore. That was supposed to be the guy. Hello. This guy was brought in to be the guy, and you decided to wager the guy to go and get the quarterback. Earth to Panther fans, you had a number one receiver. You gave him away.
Yeah. And I hear a lot of fans, if we was to get on here and just trash Jonathan Mingo, you wouldn't hear nothing. You wouldn't hear a complaint in the world. You know what I'm saying? You get up here and say Jonathan Mingo ain't shit. Ain't nobody gonna get in the comments and say you too hard on Jonathan Mingo. And what's the difference between him and Bryce? They both rookies. One was picked number one. The other one was picked 39, right? I think we picked Mingo
39.
like 39 or something like that, And you trash him, they won't say a word about it, I find that odd that Bryce Young is able, after giving you a 2-15 season and the poorest terrible numbers that he put up, you complain about him and you just automatically in the hater category. And I'm gonna say it I like Bryce Young. I think his head is on his shoulders very good. You know what I'm saying? I like Bryce Young. But I can't argue what the hell I seen on the field, man. And that's just one example of people that's on a pedestal. Like this new coach. I like this new coach. He say all the right things. But guess what? I ain't never seen him coach an NFL team. All I seen him do was be offensive coordinator for the Bucks, who once again were 9-8. And so I've heard, because I didn't look this up myself, the 24th best offense. So I mean, am I going to go out there and gamble on this man leading us to glory? No, but I can say that I like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm in reality land. I like what he say. You know, he's selling me something. You know what I'm saying? Now when I buy it, I can find out if it's bullshit or if it's worth something. You know, and that's yet to be seen. But I'm not gonna put a crown on this man and say we finna win 10, 11 games. That's just ridiculous. That's how I feel about it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I like what you just said, MDJ. You know, when you because you got to bring them the 100% facts with everything that you said. If you don't, you'll get comments saying, "No, that's not true." This and that. They gon' they gonna come at you. The fanatic. The same definition that Q has been reading over and over and over tonight.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, the fanatic in them already has put the crown on the head of the coach. The crown is already on the head of the quarterback. You've seen this guy be an offensive coordinator. The guy has told you himself, this was my first time in the war room in a draft. This was my first time doing this. This is my first time running a camp. This is my first time OTAs. This is my first time running the meeting room. This is my first. You got a lot of firsts, homeboys. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of firsts. So, for you to knock it out the box, you see somebody. I think Liquid said you put a lot of pressure on Bryce. You're putting a lot of pressure on Canales because he's sitting there telling you, "This is my first time. I did this, and this is my first time doing that." Now, I'm not saying, but in my experience and my infinite wisdom and things, when somebody's telling you that, they kind of scooting around a little bit for them out, if you will. Walk with me. So now when he comes back and said, "I told you this was my first time doing this and doing that," y'all got to work with me because this is my first time, you know, doing this and doing that. It's gonna take time. You remember trust the process? We're gonna be in trust the process mode again. Jay-Z took 7 years again. You see what I'm saying? That's where we're gonna be because he's saying, "Hey, this is my first time. Give me some time." Okay, so put the crown on his head as you want to. You better
Well,
kind of
and I
listen to
and
what
I
the
and
man
I'm gonna
saying.
ask you this, go. I'm gonna ask you this. What if we were to fully trust Canales and he came out here and
Okay,
was actually worth a damn?
okay. Then hey, bro, we hit it. We hit it out the park. You got a winner then. You got a young guy who's got the zeal and the moxie and the look and the this and the that and the upbeat tempo, the energy, to go out there because it takes energy, Q, because this is a never ending job being a head coach. You got an off season. What he got to do in the off season? He got to be scouting. He got to be doing this. He got to be doing that. What he got to
Hmm.
do in the real season? You know what I'm saying? From Sunday to Sunday, you know what I'm saying? You got to come up with game plan. You got injuries. You got the this. You got that.
But
You got
but
to
but
go up to that
that's
program.
granted on him being here for a year ago.
That's true too. You hit that on the head.
So so let me tell you something. If
Yeah.
he if we go on the skid and we say we drop, say we go 1-7 or 0-8 through the first couple of
Mhm.
games through the season, I'm not betting on Canales to be here by the time it's week 10 comes, cuz I hate to tell y'all that.
And see, once again, a lot of people who don't know me and Q, we said that about Frank because you can't keep rinsing and repeating, you know what I'm saying? Coaches, like, get out of here, rinse these dishes off, dry them off, get me a new guy, you know what I'm saying? Get out of here, rinse and repeat, get out of here, you know what I'm saying? We're never gonna get anywhere like that, y'all. One step forward, two step back. One step forward, two step. We ain't doing nothing but stepping in our own shoe print. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
good luck with that.
Well, unfortunately, and this is why people are clinging on to so much hope for Canales. This is why people steady saying he made Baker, he made Geno. He came out here. Russell Wilson was directly affected by this young fella. It's because they said we need a guy to instill hope for. Fanatics are people, once again, and I'm going to give you this definition. Fanatics are people filled with excessive and single minded zeal. So they can only see tunnel vision for one thing. They can't focus on what's to the left of them. They can't focus on what's to the right of them. Because all they see is, hey, we got a new coach at Canales. All I know is he worked with these three superstars or these three stars in the NFL. And since he's gotten with these guys, he's gotten better. You've seen Geno Smith turn from a 10-year wash to a 10-year starter. Made a Pro Bowl. You've seen what's the other cat? Um, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was already a made man under Canales, but he was directly right there with him as the water boy. Who gives a fuck what he was in Seattle? Um, I don't think he had no impact there. But this is where me and Goat debate. We've been debating since this guy has gotten hired. What's his impact with Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield, who you've seen never really passed for over 3,500 yards in his career with the Browns. Never put up ecstatic numbers in his career, but made 3 Pro Bowls being a game manager. I mean, not 3 Pro Bowls. He made a Pro Bowl being a game manager, and he won the first playoff game for Cleveland in years. But then you see him come to Tampa Bay, and this is what I tell Goat. After having a terrible season with Carolina Panthers, after going to the Rams auditioning, is what I like to call it, because he had a good week or two there
He
before
was
he
cool
was shipped off.
there. I think he was good there.
He had a couple of games because Stafford wasn't there, and they had no hope, and nobody was really game planning for him. Nobody was. And so he comes here to Tampa Bay. He picks up the phone and begs Tampa Bay to bring him down here. Give me a chance. What do you have to lose? I'll come on a veteran minimum. And with Canales, I can't tell what's the impact that he had on him, but I know I saw this cat throw for over 4,200 yards, which is a career high for him. He hasn't done that in his entire career. And this is what me and Goat goes backward and forth on. What was Canales' impact with Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield bet on himself. You know, Baker Mayfield was bad with the Panthers, but like you was just touching on, he was good with the Browns for the most part. He might have had hiccups here and there, but just like Bryce, Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick, man. So there's talent in him. You know what I'm saying? We watched Baker in college, but there's talent in Baker Mayfield before he ever got with Canales. Now Canales was running that offense. Once again, when they gave me the numbers, it ain't too impressive. Now I think the big thing is they look at it as it was a struggling quarterback, and they want to attach fixing him to him. So when he's here, that's what they attach it to him, fixing a quarterback. It's not even about winning the games. It's about fixing the quarterback, making the quarterback look better. It's not going to take much to make Bryce Young look better. His numbers should naturally get better if you spend that much on your offensive line and you draft some receivers, trade for a receiver. Naturally, those numbers are going to get better. So even with that, I mean, I'm still not going to put a lot on say he fixed the quarterback, man. Your quarterback should have never been broke. They drafted number 1 overall, man. That's what's expected, man. That's what's expected.
So take a look at these numbers of Baker Mayfield. 3,700 as a rookie. Coming in. Only played 14 games. He probably would have eclipsed 4,000 yards that season had he played all of them.
Look at the quarterback rate.
Quarterback rate is terrible.
The first year, or maybe I'm looking at the last year. The first year, it like it's a 93.7.
Oh, I thought you were looking at the QBR. I thought you was looking at. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you know the QBR is in the 50s, but once again, you gotta think this is a rookie. It's a
Yeah.
rookie coming in, 27 touchdowns, which is double what we had.
Mm-hmm.
32. What is that? 3,700 yards as a rookie. He only played 14 games.
I mean, you got to look at it. His rating has been in the mid 90s for majority of his career. Even through that terrible stint with us, he was only 74, which we saw Sam Darnold be worse than that. But Baker was not a difference maker with 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He was just over average with us. Because when we thought we had him, we thought we had a guy that could come in and be a game manager that could help lead us, but that wasn't the case with Baker Mayfield when we got him. Um, I'm looking at these numbers, and these signify to me a middle of the pack quarterback before he got to Canales. And I'm looking at 4,000 yards with Canales. His efficiency got a little bit better. You're talking 64% completion. You're looking at the number of attempts for him passing the ball, 566 attempts. 17 games played. This cat had a 94 rating. It tells me 28 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. He protected the football, is what that told me.
So what do you say a middle of the pack quarterback is? Or game manager, middle of the pack. So because middle of the pack would be like a game manager, right? A
Yeah,
guy who just does
Yeah, I would
enough
say
not to
so.
lose or whatever. So now I had a conversation, and some people know what I'm alluding to or whatever. But others told me that 205 all year long is 34.85. Those are the type of numbers at 205 yards a game. That's not reaching for the stars or anything like that. So 3,400 and some change, right? And I can't see the thing right there. Baker, I know he did 4,000 something was his best in the Western name, but
he just
every
did
year he
4,000.
eclipsed. Yeah, he eclipsed them 2 years right there in Cleveland, them 3 years in Cleveland. He
Man,
eclipsed middle of the road.
go,
You know what I'm
go.
saying? At
Look,
37, 38, 35.
that
And we
there's
all
talent there,
know,
man. It's
Hmm?
talent.
yeah,
Look,
and
look
we
at that
all
rookie
know,
season.
Yeah,
14
yeah, we
games,
all
he
know
threw for
what happened when
3,700.
we
that's
all know
actually
what
pretty
happened
good.
when he went
That's
to
what you
we
expect
all know
from a
what happened.
rookie quarterback that's number one overall, at least 63%.
And we but
Now,
the elephant in the room, we know what happened in Cleveland in 2020 and 2021
but
to
go,
make them numbers drop.
go. Can you see where I'm taking you right now? He only played 14 games. Our quarterback played 16 games in his intro. Now, Cleveland was a terrible team when Baker Mayfield was there. Hadn't won in over damn near over what 20
I
years?
don't even,
That was a
I
natural
don't even
number
want
one
to, I
pick.
don't, I don't even
Mm-hmm.
want to compare him
Well,
to
what I'm saying,
with that.
go. What I'm saying, go is the situations are night and day difference in what Baker walked into versus what Bryce Young walked into. But this guy 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. 27 touchdowns. This our guy only had 11 touchdowns, 10
And the long
So
and
interceptions.
short,
how did they all day today? Me and you argue, went back and forth. So how can
Mm.
you sit there and say? You see my point? Was how you saying that Canales made Baker? Keyword
I never
made Baker.
see.
Baker was already
There
there.
you go
he,
with that
he
again.
didn't fix
I never
anything. It was
said
already there.
that he made Baker. I said, and listen to me. I said you don't know what his impact was. Is what I kept telling you. You let that fly over your head. Now I told you directly. If you look at bigger numbers from here to there, you see more efficiency. You see him taking care of the football more, which led to more touchdowns, career high of touchdowns. You're looking at his interceptions. Less interceptions mean that was more passes completed versus going the opposite way. So he was more efficient.
You're right. Q. What you're saying is 100%
But
right. But the way I'm looking at it, if he gave Baker something, it might have been confidence, and he gave him and put his trust in him. But the talent was already
well,
there. The
you know
talent
what?
is there.
You want to know what he gave him? But he didn't give him Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, White. You understand what I'm saying?
Tristan Wirfs at left tackle.
Yeah.
Well, you know when you say
But he
that,
didn't give him
they're
that.
gonna
But
say
that wasn't his
they're gonna
choice.
say you got to give
Okay.
Bryce, Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Okay.
You got to go out and give
Okay.
him an ideal line. You got to give him a running back. You got to go
I
give him
mean,
Todd Bowles, Bruce Arians sitting up there as a senior advisor. You got to give him all that. So I guess Jim Caldwell is going to be our very own Bruce Arians.
They
Oh
kind of
well.
they kind of did that. You see, like Goat said all the time how much money they spent on that offensive line. And then they got the number one separator. I like Deontay Johnson. I think the kid is good, man. I think he's better than what the numbers said last year. So, I mean, they gave him what he need.
I
No,
just better not
because
lose.
I'm seeing people say right now, Bryce need
He
more
needs more
weapons.
weapons. He needs more weapons. That has
I'm
been said
seeing
out
that.
here. Yeah, he needs more weapons.
Panther fans
So
are saying that right now as we speak. He needs more weapons.
I just don't
I
know.
don't know
I
what
don't know.
more this cat need. I don't know if he need Hercules, Captain America, Iron Man out there playing with him. I don't know what the fuck else he need. But they keep saying he needs more weapons. You see how freaked out and happy they get over a goddamn picture that was taken at an angle talking about he got bigger. He didn't get bigger. It was an angle which made his arm look bigger. He's in the middle of throwing. You use muscles as you throw and move, dumbasses.
Man, I ain't focused on bigger, man. I'm trying to see better. I want to see
What?
better. I
They
don't want to
looking
see
for
bigger.
anything to
Just want to see
cling
better.
hope to MDJ.
I know I'm with you, MDJ. I want to see better, bruh.
Show me on the field, cuz.
Hope is a
Better.
good thing. You're supposed to have
I'm
hope,
not.
man. But damn.
I'm not seeing angle taking pictures and all types of stuff like that because I already know how to be fooled by a picture. You know, people do that on Instagram every day.
Look at this
So
shit right
what you
here.
saying? So go. What you alluding to is they trying to catfish us with that Bryce Young picture. The Panthers
Yeah,
catfishing on their
boy.
Instagram.
Yeah, boy.
Panthers
They
Yeah,
need to hit
boy.
catfishing, man.
something else, man. They look. Look at that. Grown ass man called another man Pookie Bryce. You see this shit here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. This Photoshop, man. Bryce Young ain't got no muscles and no mustache, man. Come on, man.
Bryce look bigger. Bryce Young looking cut. Damn, Bryce starting to use the left hand at night. You see people saying? You see the dumb shit? Bryce Young looking strong.
It's
All we
crazy.
need, see right
That
here?
is
All I
crazy right
needed to
there.
see.
That's
This man right here said, all I needed to see, Super Bowl champs.
yes,
You see?
sir. Yes, sir.
Look at this shit here.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Y'all
they
gotta
trolling,
stop
man.
this,
That's
man.
just trolling, man. That's
No,
trolling.
these are fanatics. They really
Yeah.
do believe this. I'm telling you, cuz this is what they talking about. Somebody said, look at this right here. Bryce Young is probably a legit 204 pounds now in muscle.
Whoa. Wow. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. That boy plays at 185, 190. And that's it, cuz never gonna see two nothing. Sorry.
You
That's
see
gonna
what I'm
hurt his
saying?
play. If y'all so much
Fanatics.
fans of him and this and that, that's gonna hurt his play. He's never played that heavy, y'all. Stop that. Y'all
Now look at this.
go get you a 15, 20 pound weight on one of them vests and put it on your body and run across your yard. Just across your yard. People who sitting down somewhere, never done nothing, never played nothing, no athletic, nothing. Go get you one of them vests, put 20 pounds in it, and run across the yard.
Go.
Now imagine that boy playing.
Go.
Yeah, yes,
Look at
sir.
this. A hood nigga saying Bryce hard eyes. Pause.
No, he
Look at
ain't no
this.
hood nigga. He ain't no hood nigga. I thought
Look at
that
this.
I just looked at it. I'm looking at it. I thought it said Snoop something other. No, cuz cuz no, cuz no, you ain't. That ain't even his picture. That ain't even buddy picture right there. You stealing somebody's profile, homeboy. Cause
I
ain't
don't.
no.
Yeah,
Ain't
it
no
is.
Nah,
cat I
man.
know got that damn emoji right there.
Nah, you can.
Sit your
Nah, man.
ass down.
That ain't how it work these days, man. You can say the gayest shit ever as long as you say pause. Well, no Diddy, man. You can get
No,
away with it. You can say
fuck
the
that.
gayest shit ever.
Fuck that. Yeah. He can pause all the fuck he want to. Yeah.
I
You
don't
said it.
understand where
Said
these
it.
guys be getting this. This is freaky. And once again, fanatics. They love the player that's in the uniform and the numbers, and they take it to a whole nother level. This show right here is talking about rightfully crowned. Have we rightfully crowned, guys, when you got grown men putting hard eyes? What has he done to desire hard eyes other than just come out and be
Why?
himself? Look at this cat right here.
Why is he
What?
saying he handsome, man? What is going on?
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just it gets weird. Panthers Instagram is some of the craziest stuff. Like if you have nothing else to watch, go on Panthers Instagram if you're watching this video right now and go right to the pictures and just read the comments. The fandoms and the
Let,
fanatics are weird.
let me tell you how a real man would say. Okay, I see you. My boy. Go ahead, son. Yeah, that's my nigga. That's some shit you
Hmm.
can say as a man.
That
Ricey
muscle milk
fool.
kicking in, man. Bryce in them
My,
weights.
my,
You
this
been
and
putting
that.
in that work.
Starry eyes with hearts and come on, bro. Y'all got to do better.
But I don't understand it. Like I said, it's not normal for a grown man to put hard eyes to another grown man. So that
Nah,
tells me
nah, nah.
here this is something that's a little more under my. I don't understand it. This is over my understanding. But I'm just here because number one, people said I'm so hard on Bryce Young. I'm so hard on Canales. I'm so hard on Dan Morgan. I haven't given Dan Morgan a chance as a GM, and I gave him his kudos in the draft for getting back the extra draft pick and coming out here and picking Jatavion Sanders and Jonathan Brooks. Like I said, Xavier Legette to me is a piece that I'm going to have to see come along and see how he transitions before I give him anything. But the known commodities, Jatavion Sanders and Jonathan Brooks, are two guys that I gave him a green light for getting. They were good picks. And barring
Yeah,
injury, they should be here for the long term of Panther 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They should be here for a while.
yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying. So yeah,
Man, I will follow it up with some Cubans. They don't really say that stuff about me, man. So, you know, I don't
the
know. They don't say
motherfucker
that.
be on they be on my ass, MDJ. Like literally, I can't make a comment about anybody on the team unless I say it the way they want me to say it, and I better say it the tone that they want me to say it, or they're gonna get upset.
Yeah,
Now be mindful, they don't go to any other content creator who talks crazy. I've heard people even call him a little bitch, but they don't call them people out. So they got they pick people or who they want to hold to a certain standard or who they want to hold accountable. They'll hold Black Cat Panther podcast accountable, but they'll let every other Panther podcast around here get away with the slick shit. And then again, they don't hold the ones that Bryce, Canales, Dan Morgan, because they're saying what you want to hear. I'm not
hmm,
here to kiss no ass. I'm not. I didn't wake up today and say, I'm gonna kiss everybody's ass today. No, I'm sorry. You're
and
going
I
to
tell you,
be
this is the thing right here. This is the thing right here. Please, if it comes out the way that I'm saying it's gonna come out, that same one Q just talking about Bryce. Do not go hide. Don't go hide now. Continue to make videos. Continue to do lives. Don't you go hide.
you
Cause
still
I
looking for
fought with
motherfucker from last year.
Falcons. I fought with Falcons all year. I fought with Saints all year. I fought with Bucks all year. I fought with Dolphins all year while we was losing. But I ain't a fan. I don't care. I don't get that. I went on air. I did compilations, all type of all types of everything with everybody, super fans, whoever. Oh yeah, but y'all motherfuckers went and hid until the CJ Stroud to the Texans victory. Then you brought your ass out, yeah, jumping up and down for walk-off field goal. And then another game was won in the rain. Yeah. Don't you go hide. Put your ass on the front line. That's all I got to say.
You know, man, these boys, I like it over here, man. You know, they drop the link. You come in here, you can say whatever you want to, man. You can agree with them. You can say some wild shit. You know, see, I'm over here cussing, man. I don't even say nothing. But you know, they let you say whatever you want, man. So I think sometimes people abuse the fact that y'all let people do that, and they can't go everywhere and do that because you know, sometimes some chats you go in their chat, you say something they don't like, they'll block you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, unless you just, you know, talking about somebody family or just blatantly disrespecting somebody personally, you'll never get blocked over here, man. So, you know, and we encourage you to say how you feel. Just like Buddy made his comment in the chat, you know, we tried to poke holes in it, but it ain't no disrespect to him. No, shout out to him. But you can't get that everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? You only get that here, man. And me personally,
Yes.
I enjoy it, you know, and I call myself, you know, I watch a lot of Panther podcasts. I enjoy a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? But it's not as free as it is over here, man. And by that, you know, calling y'all haters or not fans, man, that's actually the definition of a fan. You know, you for the people. You'll try to enlighten the people on what's going on with the team, and you open to hear other opinions about the team, whether you agree with it or not. You might get cussed out, but you know, it's all love, man. Them boys love you, man. For the
Yeah.
people.
So I'm gonna tell y'all like this right here. If you coming on in, do us the illustrious favor, like, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel. This is gonna be gearing up for tonight's show, which is going to be Panthers After Dark. Come on in, get your memberships because that's for members only, and you don't want to miss out on that. So make sure you have your spot in line. Bring your ass. You don't want to miss this at all. Your boy Dub Q is
No.
in the building, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the Black Cat Panther podcast is just gearing up. We're gonna be in your face. We're gonna be up in your ass every time you get a chance. Pause. Now come on back here. Subscribe. Like how old boy told Smokey on Friday, come back. Bring your ass back here. It's your boy Dub Q, man. Look, you have been cordially welcome to the Black Cat Panther podcast. Go and get your merch off of here too. Spreadshop.com. The Mud Ink Outlaws gear is already here. So show us that love. Y'all already know what time it is, man.
Yeah, shout out to people, man.